Newton, why set? Take over.
All right. So Joe, my set our studio has say my soul. Now, and come on, yeah, boy, dear, you discuss the draw now. No Ghana Blaster game no basso. Everybody's concerned. They say a coin best so and ever five qualify ahead of Morocco 2025. It's a big question now. In your answer, you're running a Jack TV. So you say, Joe, why enjoy football? No be now say a generation there. We've gone through certain generations and now transitions are Ubehu said the day as the captain Edwina Dokran and saying to me Emma I can't think now and I say to me Salisu and Salisu I'm at the Jacona Honor Barbara Man Tete Baba Idrisu Kamaldin Suleimana so squad now go through a lot of transitions. Ningina no a squad a bema the finest purity in terms of teamwork. Yensa enyankan and then you game my bono, you face Ankasa, you dish in Coach KWASI APPIAH on the Sudan national team. Now, Coach, on should say to say, a dear now will analyze the squad no home and the dear work actually. First of all, we share manager OTTO ADDO, they met me a say, fan on say, why a very, very adaptive coach. Mekasa adaptive coach, Chesa no one Kasano. On need the methods we build the implanting in the squad because two spells in and chair. It don't make us so to about possessive football and answer about direct. He's been staying between the two ideas. Now I know not just say or share opponents now all but in the soup and then the buying and what they are shifting no. It's OTTO ADDO. Like baby I will be an chia unim for Sudan for no. Now according to one Sudan for a very physical side. Without the ball on the board, they are very, very well built. Two, so direct. 10 passes into the final third. A move 8 or 9, so direct and long into your half. It means that from a goalkeeper, bet me attack here, last line of defense, straight. Our brother pass it through the midfield. Free, we've also said, I'm about lucky a team centrally because I'm pressing aggressively up high the pitch. Now, OTTO ADDO were back free beyond table. The back three no obetimi ahyehyehye the kwan bebre so amana farm na yeye eno na o hwe ewo TV sui na o hwe back three we say e bi na Pep Guardiola o dey the Champions League against Inter Milan. It's a back three obetimi asaso convert it into a back four with a lone pivot. Now o hwe the wo TV so dia mama highlight the be na back four no entro na who say OTTO ADDO very much adapts to the opposition. So Thomas Partey back four, I am back four. We Thomas is it's a typical back frame made up of defenders. And we share the Kitwabia. But this is what Thomas is one thing that we can also say here, they say, close to Thomas centrally. They are keeping hold of Thomas. So either as a possession over who you're 70%, you're 60%, you're 7%. Yet who break percentages in the down. Defenders in the goalkeepers on the board. We don't really sustain the ball in the final third. It's a possession, don't draw now a defense or Thomas and you're close to he's one of the players in my back four, no air back four, but you're close to So how do we then go? At this point, Lartey said, "Do not call change the second phase of your build-up." And say, "You call Bonembra and I say Emma." So we go through the longer balls, especially your closest central zone. Now, question me, Busa say, "You call long? What do we sustain the ball? Do we create certain chances out of the long balls? Who picks up the second ball? And how do we deal with such situations?" And for the second time, Thomas na who said you're close no. Now and Thomas and Susu na a partner. Now at this point na you're close central figure obeje ball no dey akono. Chief question ba kwa ye bisa say any na Thomas Partey or here from because in Finfin dey Malifo no o ma fa Finfin no. Na aba do say ye beko na me hwehwe Thomas no ma hu so no so aba akire. So o hwe Thomas nchen ya wo nipa miensa dey twa mo hwe say but nipa miensa no na ba Finfin we have the back four and Crawford say second year it's a lot so called long ball my it's been the trick of many of our positions ball midfielders bako anam wetimi form e basa na ball ni krakra OTTO ADDO, have you seen this? Have you observed this? And what are you doing? Because Sudan for in they will stay on our two players. The bunny say no midfielder not drop here but deep back free no. Okrekra ball no Thomas na Obakaso is most confident in keeping the ball no or no call long ball no na when na beje Gideon Mensah lateral no eno ti na back free no. So I am asking say how do we build out if we are closed centrally? Number 2, how do we sustain the long balls and direct balls? You know, if it happens, say opponent force to go long and direct. Now import the hydrogen says Joe, a tono opponent in a long ball na yabono or no answer no they have a chance at the TIA quickly, just as you saw moments ago. Yeah, build it out to the Ako, but Bonanko, we considered a chance and later made a foul and a danger. I mean, watch that save from Atizigi. Bonu Krano and Charlie Jukuru Moha and a Koya Esaba. And it's been reoccurring in our teams now. Or the Bona board that didn't know. Hope you say come them. Na kwan them no catch you so on free yard na onko or cut top or do we sustain the ball? Who keeps hold of that ball? And sana lateral sana as a wing backs and a support. And you know, these are some of the problems we've gone through. Our teams AFCON qualifiers are yeah, but now a bunny say no. Sometimes we even pick up the second ball. Now your first second ball now yes struggle pan sana. Ball yet media could do the final third, especially some opponents in Obia or the elements of defending the are placing more bodies behind the ball. And my penetration is so very, very difficult because pockets in the Yankee pockets in Yankee and a kudus, you know, one after more the fouls, you know, a sacco kudus so. Patedia, a bus or yet consayana on tiny baby or per combo no or per say what the amount of judge, but kudus in a tire more takons. Etiabusa said against Mali, you saw some of the long balls that were not so fruitful in the final third. And against Angola, you are seeing it. Jordan, you never hold the ball in the final third. To say the Giroud, Lukaku Moyeno. Do they possess that physical attribute to keep the ball before other members would join them in the final third? Are we talking about antenna? Someone say our attribute be a born your bonus through the manual. Or bet me a hold your mama Makano Abba. Or be a Didier one top for born mommy. Do we have Brendan Thomas Asante in that regard? In Nike Williams there upper space. So aerially on time called challenge the break crowd. But my key point is that they'll be holding us just as they've done here. And to share or back four on your BM we utilize the spaces, but watch centrally. Look at the overload from the opposition. And fifth opponent in a bono. So a bus opponent in a fan say Joe, what do we then do? You have a column ball. And I remember possession, what happened? Keeper, 2 central defenders, a content chain, recycle. At the end of the day, Ghana 90% of possession. Chances inside the free mobile, near about 2 pay, near about 1 pay. Opponent in 1 counter, quickly. No, I take advantage of the half spaces. No, not the TIA. This is the back four. So it's a typical 4-2-4. Obiako attack your chair ball. No? These guys have been held in ransom. Have been held in ransom. And at the end of the day, yes, I say the ball you pay po. But how do we then go if there's a central lock from Sudan? You better call on ball. Who keeps the ball and how many chances can we create out of that? Let's all think about this. Because Sudan and now AFCON not the end. Our chances will be so slim. Now Sudan pressure bebo to other so say it's Ghana there you say you're free next year no you're free semis you're free quarter you're free round of 16 group stage after they show up empty no you can say na opponent no so you na so be long balls into your half a crime be no to TIA or cause zones will be a hot chile pa but another zone yeah na how they flourish you're so much successful in that regard so you share say omobo ball no call your central defenders no ho jiku ne salisi ho dia how they champion for pa how they to me and one pa mo nyina wiema ko sa de be kye beba say central defenders no ko dia we dominate in aerial duels and it shows say these guys are duelists in terms of the challenges and tussles ayana eba say deal with long balls central won to me but a crime for frobi wo ho a bad say omuto hwe keeper nsa communication in football comes in variety of forms. So obi ohonoma coaches no technical team or the Aqua Central Jikumo bully number 9 10 4 no sa then they would have to change their methods. Method no any say on message no ma collaterals no ho na ho de ya ne badansa o so successful. And untino opponent afodo ni nyina no mo de ba salisu jiku amatem ho ya na ye ho etoye pa but yan kwanche ne nche no ne hwade. How many times do we deal with those situations? Na kwa be so ene ye fa so wini ball no so Mali fo na ye no mo boy ma na confuse you ye na ye red jersey no Mali fo no ene ye shop 2-1 e wo away no enche kra na omo go back no and a can't assembly chair me a sama me come chico share games no. They kept the ball. A crime you no soon your fire consider. Number one, a crime fast to consider and say Joe, your attackers and they don't put pressure on the opposition. Say coach na catch them say Momo Momra na I'm buy bet me at the ball. And now someone and put pressure on the opposition teams. No. We honestly don't know. But the team say opponent in the ball nearby, your attackers and also ball match. So once will be running any papa could be acquire papa near you na omoba. And the offensive pressure in our team no is super. Number two, so I'm dropping long balls no at the laterals no. Yeah, now you're hungry. It go away a batia Ghana. And money, yeah, but that and I know your game. No, this is Jonathan and Nasa Gideon Mensah. Now, Gideon Mensah, no, there's the goal scorer. Situation in you. Now, me catch us a long ball, no, you're dropping the baby. Yeah, successful. Now, area be zone, be there, so, when the ball was hooved into this zone, it came to a situation, and this is a airborne, no, and yet Jikuna airborne, no. And now, Mate, it's a certain Gideon Mensah and a honey defensive weakness. Apart from top now, Yama pressure, Yama born banner. This zone and then that zone, I consider a lot of numbers. Now, I told you, you're not today. It's a share Gideon Mensah and a cheater situation, no. But how he was bullied by Koita and son aboard about the tornado, no. And I'm saying now quickly, say Joe, my man, come and you share your games in Ayabono. How many balls in the opponents and drop it to laterals and a while? You think a deal with. So sure, Obule Gideon Mensah, first of all, he was the first person in the air, won the ball, had the connection in the box. And then I will show you, it's about bully Salis to say, young bully Jiku say, by a laterals, and it's so characteristic of fullbacks. Georgia Bamo Tia, Daniel Vesmo, you know, Katumina, no money attention for laterals and Americanity, they are naturally devoid of height. And you know, Unya baby, Unya baby. Laterals areally they don't really dominate. A two opponent for not when you say, Gideon on that form now, Yanchi, you're bullying by virtue of that long ball. And a Gideon that form now. Open the pay and say, by Yansha, you feel my game, how our fullbacks deal with such situations. Now, I'm going to Hong Kong, I am no more person. Now, okay, fullbacks in our woman, ni power to me no more a day for so cramming cancer. Eye already said, on what we cost the power now tough for more now sorry. Very, very agile and ultimately, you know, even though the win rate was sort of saying, or more can your laterals. Now, there was something here, it's a hakuya, me bonaba super and confident wiki. Tariq Lamptey height 1.63. Now, I want to the ball echo, didn't you know, yes, sir. So, Oshaya Isahaku was the first person. When we converted from the 4-4-2 without the ball, and then I will show two strikers in the middle four in here. Now, middle four, no, the one wider right channel, no, Isahaku, I will protect it, Tariq Lamptey. It to share. Imagine, set Tariq and a air ball, it would have been 1-on-1. You're bullying out to form that. But Isahaku said, I am here to guard you, brother. And there was a situation, Tariq anchor airball. Now, Ali do your bully fasono. Gideon Mensah your bully fasono. Tariq is about 1.63. Factually, it's a bully. So he went for the second ball after set Isahaku about aerially, about dealing with the situation. And other opponents have continued in that same pattern. Say Ghana 4 and 5 for years strong, very, very towering. And say the ball call on BCC and number 9 for no. And he caught fullbacks and so. They are fighting for the second balls in the channels. Quick counter, then pack. So watch this. It's a Kwasaba, and I'm saying no, you recycle ball on the Nkosoro, and I'm also adding Kosoro. OTTO ADDO has to deal with this against Sudan because Sudan for no counter say no more counter say. So they will be going in the wider channels against Yay and Yay. Now, my key point, and I say, OTTO, have you been observing this? Now, who say Ali Dudier, or to make train buff from, not also to be buff from, or Breno, sorry, he's one of the win rate was sort of saying Gideon, Tariq, but all of these guys are saying a feature of about Anna now, shall I be all too true and then casting show? Or two no Ali decide, but Uncle Direct, or mobile cycle board about Siansana finally, or must attend their call. Our fullbacks will be targeted. Explosives in our home best and the So we ask him, say, line up a banner manager, just as from Cologne. tax about call Hannibal Quache, a Sunday bread chief, said, on Kenkai no Musa, Ali Bina Yancho of Formono. He's been doing massively well. But the year can say, line up a baby bit in your facing coffee. I want balance as an analyst. I really love to have balance. And me will Arsenal, and no me weapon renew, so I'm going for Aliju as my right back. But before that, my main country will say, maybe Atisgi now, my man that go post in chief. Atisgi over Frederick Asare, over Jojo Wolacott. Aliju will be my right back. Jiku Salisu be partner. Abdul Mumin, you did so well. Goal of the month in La Liga. We know, but games are so far bono. Oho popo kakra. We also know say it will take a bit of time and some adjust full time. Jomen some boy ya kofomo jetina ho popo. So ho popo kakra enye news kwa. But Salisu, I'll choose him over you. Na me de na kan Jiku ho. Me left ho no. Gideon Mensah or Jerome Opoku, according to OTTO ADDO, no be decided. But maybe the Kamako flat. Jerome Opoku Aliju on the flanks. No matter Salisu ni Jiku. Or many pair na Elisha Wusu. Now the attendant said me were back free variety me no waha. But I couldn't say Gideon Mensah or Opoku ni Alidu airco. Na Elisha drop it about Yenya Salisu Jiku as the new back free in possession. You crab on. Or remember Elisha no momako. Gideon Beko, now Salisu Jiku and then Alidu. Me and San so another form of back free. It's yes practically, as we keep saying, say, market kind of people so no. A bit me see and how feasible can we win with that squad if indeed. Now Osha de Ketuabia, my more whom teamity. I'll be going with 4-1-4-1 Fatau Niyama Kudus Ashimeru ebe protected Elisha Usu in midfield. Na Semenyo or Jordan solid line. So 4-1-4-1 typically. Now in possession, no na me person me kire wade kakra bi o ha se. Yet me convert it back for no back frame and ye. It is a share the whole TV so back frame no bi na aba me person me highlight kire o se see no. We have a double pivot here just as all share TV no so. But there's also the back free here. As a manager no ye kura ball na ye kwa ye betimi assearch it. Not just you push obi akọ na o share ha de no a the money back free now, the position of Elisha Usu. Elisha na wahano. At this point, two say na Tarek why Tarek ko unhuni uTV no kona ho. Tarek na baba shasi hase no. They are waiting for the second phase of the builder in a convertible 3-4-3. So Elisha na bahano. That means said na me try people no so no. And I made back further, no, so say, possible, no, to ADDO the coach, no, while box this back three, no, along with two central defenders, no, Mumin, Salisu, not midfielders, now you're free to help in transition during the second phase. A banasana, it will buy him at your born free. Sometimes we do struggle even in possession, but that's it. We in the scene, China, 4-1-4-1, I'm a highlight teacher, no, it will convert us by the roles given by OTTO ADDO the coach. It's 4-1-4-1 convert here. Say no bet media my converting means say the corner kwa Ashimeru drop it kakra can Elisha Usu ho. So that we have a solid base. Na Kudus Ababeshem as a typical number 10. Flanking him ebe Niyama and a Fatau. Na top when you're one of the strikers Jordan or Semenyo in a 4-2-3-1. So 4-1 with Elisha, 4 Kudus Ashimeru now ubenya one na Matiso. If we struggle to go out Ashimeru bet me I drop it about centrally. Now, it's a tough game. A quality individually there in Kiako, but it goes beyond just the individual quality. Now your problem by Kuna Woshe, Nama Daniel Chedi, chief. Your problem is say the 10-minute conundrum in our team. Last 10 minutes of the first half, or toward about the second spell, we considered 10 goals. I want the second coming 10 goals. Now 10 boom. By data that tears a coin fasoba 10-10 no. Ebumiansa abba the last 10 minutes of the first half. Ebumiansa not just akwa 7 na kan emu 5 and so to the last 10 minutes of the second half. Not just a mienu na kan there. Ebetimi about randomly, but there was a systematic pattern no at the last 10 minutes of the first half miensa. And 50% up to the last 10 minutes of the second half. Is it down to endurance? I would say no. Last 10 minutes of the first half, any endurance. Let's analyze concentration, mental resilience to kill off games. The mental resilience of House of Folk, a bit American. The character, the ball, USA, Czech Republic, 2006 with Germany. That is what I am talking about. Germany is shot no take. Then we are back. Now Baba 2-2. Yes, set referee Paul ball. Now we have just that mental resiliency. And then I'm a person who we don't have it. It's me my trend endurance. We say 10 minutes to both halves, and I consider 8 out of 10 goals. You know, my track endurance. What do you mean the first half? The last 10 minutes is it will be down to concentration and full focus. Now fouls, so now you're making it be it's telling me that when the Louis Mafuta or Bob Shea, you know, the African game has grown. Other technical teams, you know, are having some good analysts. I'm betting you prepare boys in the Ababeti. OTTO ADDO, one of the technical teams, say I'm qualifier, in my opinion. It will be a big failure, and you would have to be sacked. You don't deserve to stay home. AFCON qualifies. You're a qualifier, you deserve to be sacked. All this, the real game now, you have more. But, Chief, Sir Joe.